The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 5. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of outstanding women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com to check out amazing blog articles and our killer resources. Hey there, Sheena Yapchan here from the Tao of Self-Confidence. I wanted to share this special episode with you just because this was my first ever podcast interview. So just sit back, relax, and, just enjoy every moment of it. I mean, it was my first one. I was scared to death, but I did it anyway because self-confidence is all about just taking the action even if you were scared. So sit back, relax, enjoy this episode, and hope you like it. Just feel free to comment, leave a review, subscribe, and enjoy. Bye for now. Hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host, Sheena Yapchan, and today's episode, I wanted to bring out a guest. She's just not any guest. She's actually a very close friend of mine. The first time I met her was actually in Florida a couple years ago. We were at a live event, and when I was in Hawaii living for about 6 months during the winter, which is where she's from, we became a lot closer. We became the best of friends. And, now we just talk nonstop. It doesn't matter if I'm in Toronto or if she's in Hawaii. I mean, distance doesn't set our friendship apart. But this woman is amazing, and I wanted to bring her out because, she can help you with your inner journey to self-confidence. And her name is Candice Box, and I'm going to let her talk about herself more and she's going to let you know what she does. So, Candice?
Hi, Sheena.
Hello.
Hello, ladies. I am Candice Box, and I have 2 successful businesses here in Honolulu. One as an intuitive life coach, and the other as a massage therapist. I also teach at the Sacred Path Healing School here in Honolulu, which helps so many people heal from their past traumas and wounds and really get to live their best lives. And basically, if you don't know what an intuitive life coach is, I help people understand what they really do and why. And that way they can have a greater awareness of how to get through their struggles and problems and why they do what they do and start to live life in the flow of their basically divine design and fulfill their destinies.
I think you left some stuff there she's a happily married woman.
I'm a happily married woman, and he is like my rock, and I have to say that he has helped me transform my life in so many ways, and because of him, I'm definitely a more confident woman because he holds a lot of space for me.
And she's also a proud mama of her Maltese Kai, who's the cutest dog you will ever meet.
He is.
I just wanted to point that out. So let's get on with the show. So Candice, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite quote that you like to share about self-confidence?
Mine is a kind of a long one, and yet it's something I read almost every day, and it's by Marianne Williamson, and it's called Our Deepest Fear, and this is how the quote goes. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are we? Who are you to not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just for some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
That was a long quote, but it was a really good one. Thank you so much. So what is your definition of self-confidence, Candice?
Self-confidence to me is about knowing exactly who you are and who you have been. It's the amazing, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all the adjectives in between, and accepting and loving yourself wholeheartedly.
I like that. So, a little bit about yourself. What was your life like before you discovered your inner journey to self-confidence?
Well, I moved to Hawaii basically right after high school. And, after you graduate, the whole motto is the world is your oyster. And yet, when I moved to Hawaii, I was running away from a lot of things, a lot of mistakes, a lot of failures. And when I began to live here in Hawaii, all of that caught up to me. And basically all these unresolved past hurts and false beliefs that gave me a perception of not being good enough. And so I traveled down the wrong road, doing drugs, lots of sex and alcohol to cover up the pain and hurt inside. And it was a painful time because nobody knew I was hurting. I was actually the life of a party all the time. I would be the one to be, like, everyone calls on to, like, let's go here and there. And I'm like, okay. But then when I was home alone, all of the feelings would come to me, and I would feel a lot of self-punishment. I would cry a lot of tears, and I would feel really depressed. And that's kind of how I was before.
So you were hiding your pain through partying and the drugs and the sex. And I'm sure, to the woman who's listening to this, they can relate to this too. I mean, sometimes we hide our feelings through different vices, right? So, you were in that path, kind of like your path to destruction. Can I say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you were on your path to destruction. What was the turning point? What was your aha moment thinking, what am I doing? Is this where I want to go? Like, what was that turning point in your life where you just said enough was enough?
I have to say I have had so many aha moments that basically gave me back my sense of self. But the one memory that sticks out in my mind is when I began participating in or personal growth and development programs. And the one that I took part of, we had to do this exercise. And we wrote on a thick 1-inch wooden board, and on the front of it we put all of our fears or limiting beliefs on that board. And then we stood back and we were supposed to hit the board, break through it so that we can get to the other side towards our goal. And basically what happened was, what I wanted on the other side was my soulmate, someone that I've always wanted to be with. I apologize. There's a helicopter flying overhead. I live right now right by Diamond Head, and there's a lot of helicopters like touring the area. So I'm just going to let that pass a moment, and then I'll get back. It's kind of like those pattern interrupts. So anyway, what happened was I stood in front of that board, and I attempted to punch through it. And it wouldn't work. And I did it several times, even took deep breaths, and it just wouldn't happen. And so the person that was holding the board and my instructor was like, let's take a break, just calm down and take a breather. And basically I just broke down crying because I realized how much these fears and limiting beliefs were really blocking me from what I wanted. And I realized too at that moment that it wasn't necessarily my soulmate that I really wanted at that moment. What came to me was a picture of myself as a young girl. And it was me twirling around in this beautiful dress, happy, like a beautiful butterfly, just bouncing from person to person, saying hello. And I realized I lost sight of that girl. I lost sight of her, and I wanted her back. And I realized, I'm not, when I can get that happy part of me back, then I'll attract my soulmate. But until then, I knew I needed to break through my fears of holding myself back and not accepting all parts of me and getting back to my happy place. So I stood back up, I went to the board, and I said I was ready, and I just looked at that board, and it felt like one of those kung fu movies that were going in slow motion, and I just literally went, "Pah!" And it split into the person that was actually holding it, almost fell back, and it felt like to me like I never even did anything, and I was literally surprised when it broke, and yet not surprised. And I just burst out crying because I realized it just broke within me a space to just gain my own self again, my own self-confidence, and that it is only me that I need to move forward, and everything else will be attracted from that.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, what did it feel like for you when you karate chop that board, did you feel like Bruce Lee and you're just like, hiya? Sorry, I like to ask these questions, but
Actually, it was kind of, you know that movie, The Last Dragon, where he's like glowing and that song's going on like, you've got the glow. And it was like all of the energy inside of me was pulling up inside, and it wasn't like a force that I had to do. It was like the power coursing through me. It was like an extension of my energy that actually, even before my physical hand hit the board, it like literally like cracked before hitting it, because the power that was within me was so strong.
wow, that's amazing. So what can you say about your life now after your discovery of self-confidence?
Well, I realize now that it's a series of steps. So it's not going to happen right away. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I feel so good about myself, you know. It took a while to really understand who I was. And so what I did was I took steps to get to know the real me. And I took more personal growth classes. I joined women's circles. I began seeing alternative holistic counselors. And one of the biggest things I did, which I mentioned in the beginning, is participate in the Sacred Path Healing School for 3 years. And I got to go so deep inside of me to find out a lot of, you know, my false limiting beliefs and the behaviors that I actually use to protect myself and to keep me in this little box that I thought I was. And so when I took those steps, I just freed myself to become more clear about what I like and what I don't like. I began to create strong boundaries so that I wouldn't let others run rampant in my life and make decisions for me. Or I also built up those boundaries so much that I didn't have to people please anymore, that I began to just believe in myself, believe in what I felt, and trusted my intuition, so that it was like, no, don't go there, don't spend time with this person, but more like pleasing myself, taking care of me and what I needed. And so it's kind of a series of steps and in the journey to understanding the real me and what I wanted. And then from there, it's like I began to release all of those beliefs and start incorporating new ones which really fit who I am and move in a direction of my destiny and my purpose here in this world.
All right. That was amazing. And as you know, in the beginning, we did say she's happily married now. So, I mean, that's one good thing about, you know, her discovery. She actually found her soulmate, the man that she loved. And, you know, now we're actually to the best part of the show, the last part, which is, you know, I asked Candice, you know, share her Tao of self-confidence to you listening to this. So my question to you, Candice, is, what advice would you give to the woman listening right now on her inner journey to self-confidence?
The biggest thing I can say is to be gentle with yourself. We women have grown to be very strong, be very independent, and we want things instantly, and it's not as easy as it is said than done. And we'll go through ups and downs, and we'll beat up ourselves, but it's in those moments when you can give love to yourself and kind of hold yourself like a baby and say, there, it's going to be okay, that you begin to transform into a self-confident woman, because you begin to build a relationship with yourself and trust yourself and take care of yourself. And I think being gentle with yourself is my biggest tip for you ladies.
Some great advice. So taking baby steps in your journey, pretty much.
Yes, pretty much.
So, Candice, if someone wanted to look you up or find you, where would we be able to find you? Do you have a website or something where we can check you out? Or if maybe a woman listening here might want some coaching from you, I mean, where can we find you?
Well, you can always connect with me on Facebook at Candice Box, or you can go to my website at www.divinelyguided-candice.com, and you'll see my blog there and a set of my coaching programs that I am offering.
Oh, I just heard like a helicopter go by. Thank you, Candice. If you're listening to this episode and you want to learn how to connect with Candice, head over to the website, thetaoofselfconfidence.com, and search for Candice Box. Her show notes will pop up along with everything we talked about, and I want to thank you, Candice, for sharing your journey with us, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now. Thank you for connecting with us on the Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit thetaoofselfconfidence.com for links to everything we chatted about, as well as killer resources, gifts, and so much more.